Alright, hello YouTube. I'm trying this out for the first time, so I'm going to see how this goes. Trying out OBS, so we can see how this works. So I'm just going to do a quick video on what I expect for the rest of the week on Spy, and I'm going to start uploading much more frequently. I'm going to make this an active social media page. I also have a TikTok as well. So I'm first going to be looking at the S&P here. I'm going to be doing a quick review of this. So what I want to see for tomorrow is a few things. First of all, we are at the bottom end of the weekly expected range. What this tells me is hopefully the low of the week is basically being put in and priced in by the market makers. Expected range is simply a range that market makers are pricing in based on options data, including implied volatility and other metrics. So they're basically just pricing in what they think the week's expected range will be, and we are at the low of that. What does this mean? This is likely to be a low of the week, so we can play longs off of here. I'm also going to be watching on QQQ a very similar setup. This is the low of the expected range as well. This is weekly expected range. And on both of these, I want to see a setup called the 90% rule on the volume profile, which basically means, one second, that if we open within this value area, we have an over 90% chance to hit this point of control. So what I want us to do is open within the value area, move away from it into expected range, and then hit point of control. This will be a huge reversal trade. And since tomorrow is Wednesday, it's very possible tomorrow can be a reversal day. I think SPY has it a little bit more cleanly. So if we can just pop up a little bit open somewhere here and then move down to this expected range, that would be huge, and that could give us the potential to hit here. In addition, there's another rule. If we don't open within here and we open outside, if we reclaim this value area and consolidate within for two 30-minute periods, we have a high probability to go to the other area of value. So either one of these setups using this as support could be a very, very good long setup. So that's what I'll be watching tomorrow. IWM seems to be really, really interesting just because of the fact that point of control is at the low of day, unlike the other indexes. As for stocks, what am I watching and how do I expect it to play out? So first name is I'm watching is CHGG, and essentially they had earnings today, and they happened to be slightly positive, but the guidance was bad, so the stock is down 27%. But we happen to be at this seasonal low. What does this mean? This means we could bounce. It doesn't mean we will. It means we could. And just the fact that this stock is this low, like just from all time, we are in lows in 2012, if I'm correct. Yeah, 2014. So just the fact that we are this low just makes it a good buy. Doesn't mean this company can be terrible, but it just means that at least some upside before we continue lower or before this company fails. Especially since we have seasonals on our side with an 8% move on average in the month of May, and here's the seasonal low. This could be a really, really good reversal play. I'm not a financial advisor, but I really love this play. If we look at the 4 hour, probably the 1 hour shows this better. We can see like the trend starting to consolidate a little bit. If we just get like a squeeze pop and a play up back to here, this could be huge. So I am really liking this. And then I can analyze this on here as well. I like the heavy selling deltas down here because that means if we pop away from it, it could squeeze as well. So I could play for a really good setup. What I wanted to see originally was this downtrend being broken and having a pop up to 11. But unfortunately, earnings came in, and I was like, okay, well, hopefully earnings are neutral, and we just am able to catch this play, but unfortunately it was not. Now, another play I want to see tomorrow is Caterpillar. I want to see this play hold this as demand and end up making it maybe possibly to this gap. These zones are not like magic zones, they're just expected ranges that I chart from the week before, so Sunday, and then to today. This is basically, you could see yesterday, it basically gave you the high, and if you swung this would have been perfect. So that's basically the idea that I want here. I want us to hold this zone and then to break out of these EMAs and hopefully have a run up to these highs. That's basically it. Let me go through these sector names real quick because I charted these out, and these will help you determine where or which stocks would be good plays, first of all, and then second of all, are those names even bullish or bearish? So let me explain. If FXI were to hit this expected range, the set of the expected range, then I might go to a stock like BABA, and I would go like, hey, this is kind of holding up. Like you can see, this is holding up more than any other name. It's crazy. Any other Chinese name I could go to, and it's just red, and then red, and then even more red. But BABA is holding up pretty well. So what could this mean? First of all, we have, if I'm just charting this out, we have this level right here. And if this gets to load, could probably show you that there's a level right here. Probably, most likely. Yep, you can see this especially high level of volume. So if I see FXI pull back and I see BABA hold, if I see FXI pull back to this expected range, which could be potentially support, I have a decent long idea. Doesn't mean I will take it, it just means I have a long idea, right? Let's go to SMH. This is going to be done after hours after bad earnings. So maybe if I see a pullback to here, and I see a good dip buy on like TSM, maybe to this expected range, though it's unlikely, maybe I see it to this level right here. Once this loads, we'll see. There's a volume gap sitting right here. So maybe if we fill the volume gap, consolidate, and reject. What if that happens, right? I'll just chart that out. Volume gap. So if we come back here and we hold and reverse while SMH is within demand or the expected range, this could potentially mean we get a good long up to this high volume area because market likes going back to volume. We might pull back to this volume before considering lower. I have no idea. I don't care. That's just my idea. Banks. What can I do? First of all, I pull out the fib. This looks like a good fib. Could pull back down, like wick into this fib, right? And then I could look at a name like JPM. What's been strong on the market? JPM, I'm not sure if I like it because we hit the gap fill and we're rejecting. Could go through some banking names. PayPal, interesting name. Maybe if we hold this volume shelf right here, we could get a play to the upside. Squarespace is weak. Verizon, or sorry, Visa is weak. I want to see a strong name. This is a strong name right here. This is a really, really strong name. Look at that. We've had a breakout of all-time highs. We have this strong candle right here, and we're pulling back into it. This is a low volume area. So we're going to come back, fill this volume, and we're going to continue higher. We're going to seek new highs. This is a name I would take right here. Once we break above these EMAs, what happens? Forgot the banking sector. We pull back to here, and we pull back into the volume gap. And then here, we look for the expected range play. You have a volume chunk sitting right here, and we take it to potentially this point of control. Health, I mean, this is not really looking like it's going to set up for me. Now, energy, this was a play I was watching. And I want to see if we can come back into the range. So I initially took a long right here, like at this low, because first of all, I just selected on the 5 minute, or maybe on a smaller time frame. Yeah, I liked this setup right here. And then we had this breakout. And once I saw us fading like into this consolidation, and I was like, okay, I'm just taking this off. I'm not sure if I like it. And then we ended up playing down. And I took it on Oxy. And Oxy did really well. Because I saw that was a name. And I also had the expected range charted out for this too. Because I was like, what if I chart this out? And then we had a really, really nice play to here. And then I saw it fail. And I just did not like it. And then we ended up playing to here. So what am I thinking? XOE. I don't know. Maybe we gap up back into it and we fill it and then we rip back up. But if not, we're just going to have a move lower. And they're just going to play down. Let's see, find a good level. Especially with these lows right here. This is not looking bullish at all. Unless we reclaim this, it's not looking bullish at all. With low volume. Yeah. This is really not looking great unless we bounce like well here. So yeah, I could be looking short. XOM has been holding up You could see it rejecting high of the expected range. Possibly if we pull back into here and XLE holds up. Might be, sorry, my nose has been so stuffy. This is not great. You can see kind of a similar idea with XLY, which is consumer discretionary, so your names like Walmart, Target, stuff like that. We had a breakout, and then we had a reclaim right here, and this could have been a really, really good short, especially when we break down. Like, legitimately, this could have been your play. You could have played it on Nike, right? That's consumer discretionary. CSA, that's consumer discretionary. Target. Like, you can see how these names kind of follow it. Now you want to find the name that would play out best. So for this one, it would be Nike. Right, we have the gap down, which is pretty good sign for us, right? Gap down into this low, and we break. And you could just kind of see like a lack of bullishness compared to the sector. So this could give us the idea. So the sector's been ripping this like really hard into these highs while Nike's been consolidating. We see it reclaim expected range. It breaks down from this low, comes back in the gap fill. This could be your target, and then Nike ends up hitting all the way down to here, right? Off of this value, sorry, point of control, down to here. We could see it play down into this gap too. So that's what I'm watching for this. And as for that, I mean, I really don't have anything else. I have some of these mapped out, like Meta. Now, Meta has been super strong, and I don't really know why. Like, just the market's been tanking, and this has just been holding up. So, if we get a sweep into this low, into expected ranges could be interesting. Microsoft, wow, we just see this. This is when you know not to take it. They're just so weak like this. Google had it as well, and it was unfortunate. It didn't really play out either. You could see it tried to pop back in, and then it used it as resistance rather than support. And I think the reasoning for this, you kind of have to be intuitive. You can't just take levels. Like, we have a gap right here that we clearly want to fill, and we're just going into straight red candles. We have 2 green candles that get faded right away. And that just tells you, like, we're going for the gap, or we're at least going to some kind of level, and then we're bouncing. We can't just take expected ranges again. Like, this is not magic, or everyone would be doing it. You have to be intuitive, you have to be smart. And if expected ranges were like just, oh, I could just plug this in and make money, everyone would do it, and it wouldn't be working anymore since everyone's doing it. If someone is doing something that, or if people are doing things that works for everyone, then it just doesn't work anymore. Like, that's why, oh, support and resistance. Well, if it works, then everyone would be using it, but fortunately it doesn't just work that simply. So this is what I'm watching for expected range. We break down on IATC as well. I'm trying to think of any other stocks I have charted with it. Boeing. This took it hard. Now, I'm not sure like where I would take this play specifically, but I know that we opened, or we gapped outside today, and then we just dumped. So maybe this could signal us trying to go lower now. Maybe this breaking and reclaiming is a really good setup, like kind of like a Bollinger Bands or expansion setup. Right, like here, this is the setup I'm watching on HD. Chewy, we're within the expected range, so you might want to watch this. This is actually kind of an interesting name. I want to see it kind of consolidate for a little bit before anything happens. I can't just take this rip. I'm sorry. It just does not work for me. There's some demand here. This could be a good play. It just, I want to see it consolidate, absorb this selling, and then ultimately break. And why this would be really good as well is because you see this heavy selling. So if we reverse, these guys get squeezed. And that's about it. I don't really have anything else. We did pretty interesting today. 78% on CGC. Sundial did around 30%. 22. And this stock, which is also weed, also did 30%. Not really sure why. I don't really care. I don't trade it. It was really out of the blue. And it doesn't really show any news here. Yeah, Yeah, there's just some kind of news. That's cool. But anyway, that's really it. Make sure to like and subscribe because I'm gonna start posting here, and I'm doing some unique stuff. Right? I don't. Not a lot of people are talking about like kind of expected ranges and trading off of them and like seeing market in a different way, like with seasonals and pivots. Also, I'm going to be using pivots, but I haven't really talked about it in this video. But combining it with EMAs and volume profile and like kind of logical areas, right? I'm also going to be talking about how I use this indicator, right? And pivots and these pivots and the volume, this volume profile rule. I don't know a lot of people that use this. It's kind of not a big thing. So yeah, I'm incorporating all of this together into a strategy. So I think if you find this of value, like, subscribe, get the algorithm to push it out there. I'm trying to grow. And yeah, that's about it.